so with this one, what I'm going to do is wind up creating a skeleton, and it's going to look like this. And from here, I should be able to copy most of the circles, and the hardest dimension to figure out is going to be this 30 degrees, but there's a kind of trick that I like to use to solve this one. All the dimensions of my skeleton that I have is going to be listed here. And when I get to creating this one up here along the top, we'll go ahead and add these two together. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch on over to AutoCAD. So we're going to start with a line. At this point, I'll turn ortho on. Go straight down a distance of 0.75. Let's go to the right a distance of 2.629. And then I'll go up a distance of 0.53. I'll zoom into this. And what I'm going to do now is I can either copy or offset this line over. I think I'll use copy this time. So copy, select your object, and I'll select the base point. I'm going this direction, a distance of 1.453. And then in order to increase this line a distance of 0.531, I'll go ahead and use the lengthen command. I'm going to choose the delta option. I'll put in the change I want to make, which is 0.531. Enter. And then I'm going to select the object that along the edge of that object that I want to change. So I want to change this side of this line. So I'll click that one time, and then escape. Alright, let's go ahead and create a circle with a diameter. So circle center diameter at this end point, and it has a diameter of 0.25. Now you can look at all the other radii that's around this. So I'll create a circle center radius at this center, and its radius is 0.25. The drawing says I have 6 of these, but I'm only working on half of the drawing, so I'm going to copy this one to create 3 of them. So let's go to copy and select these 2 objects. This is going to be my base point is at the end point. And let's copy this to all the other endpoints. Now let's go ahead and create our big circle here. So back to circle center diameter. At this endpoint, 0.625. Create another circle center radius at this endpoint, and the radius is 0.5. Okay, so most of this stuff we should be able to figure out fairly easy. To save myself a little time, I'm going to offset this line over a distance. So I'll go to offset, and it's asking me for my distance. I'm going to select this endpoint to this quadrant. Select my line, then I'll offset that over. I'll create the tangent line from here to here. Select line, shift right click and choose tangent. Click on this point, shift right click and choose tangent again. Click this point, then escape. Go back to the line command, shift right click tangent. Select a point along this arc, shift right click tangent again, and I'm going to go to the arc of this circle. Okay, so forth, everything is going well. Let's go ahead and create a line going straight from this quadrant, this direction. And I really don't know how far to go, so I'm just eyeballing it. And I'm going to create a line from this quadrant going this direction. And once again, I'm just eyeballing that a distance. I'm going to use rotate, select this line, My end point, or my base point, is going to be at this end point. And I'll tell it that I want it to rotate 30 degrees. Where these two intersect is where this line actually is. So let's go ahead and use fillet. I'll check my radius and make sure it's saying 0, which it is. Select the enter key. Then I'm going to select on this side of this line, this side of this line. Let's go ahead and erase our skeleton. And I can start trimming off some lines here. I'll go to trim. This time I will use some cutting edges. So I'll select cutting edges. And I'm going to select all of these lines. Enter. And then I'll trim off all the arcs on the inside. Let's go ahead and mirror this part across now. Mirror. I'm going to use this blue window and just enclose everything except for my two big circles here in the front of my object. Enter. And let's go ahead and use the two quadrants on this circle. So a quadrant here and here. Enter. Go back to the trim command. And I'll go ahead and trim off these parts of the arc. Now I'll use one more command, which is overkill. I like my entire part. Enter. And then one more enter. All I wanted it to do was combine these last lines here. There's another command you could have used. You can use join as well, and that would do the exact same thing. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed watching this one. I'll see you on the next one.